Here I've got the Wire Terminal from Seeed Studio. Learn more about this amazing little gadget and discover its capabilities and how to use it in your projects in this video. Stay tuned. The Wire Terminal is a small dev board with a powerful ARM CPU, an LCD display, a small joystick and 3 push buttons. On the right are a micro SD card slot and the power switch, which is also a reset button. Then we have a USB Type-C port and 2 ports for growth modules. Here you can connect more than 300 compatible sensors, actors, and many other interesting gadgets that are compatible with the Wire Terminal. On the backside we have a 40-pin female connector. Experienced electronics hobbyists can control their circuits by this. And behind the window there's a light sensor and an infrared transmitter diode. And also a 3-axis accelerometer. There's a lot more to discover, but for this we need to take it apart. It needs a bit of force to open the enclosure, because it is also held together with 4 strong magnets. Thanks to these, the Wire Terminal can be stuck to any magnetic surface like so. Now let's take a look on the inner workings. The heart is the ARM Cortex-M4F running at 120 MHz. Then 4 MB of flash memory for your programs and a Realtek 8720DN with 2.4 and 5 GHz antenna for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And hidden behind the PCB is a microphone and a buzzer. Now after I've put everything back in place, I'm going to bring it to life. To do so, I will connect it to my PC using a USB Type-C cable. The cable that came with it is a bit too short for my taste, so I will take a longer one from my tinkering box. And just like that, we can play a small pre-installed game. Of course there are better game consoles, but that's not its purpose. You probably buy it because you want to develop your own applications, and that's why I'll show you how to do this now. For this we need to include the TFT library header on the top, and below create an instance of the TFT class. In the setup function we call the TFT begin method to initialize it, then set a medium text size, and finally print out our hello world. This needs only to be done once, so we can leave the loop function empty. And finally, after the upload, the Wire Terminal greets the world. But there is still a way to make it even more simple. Codecraft is a web-based programming tool that runs in a web browser. This can be used for various platforms, including the Wire Terminal. This is what I choose now to again make a small Hello World program. From the category area on the left you can choose from different categories of building blocks. Under System you will find, for example, blocks for accessing the built-in gadgets I showed you at the beginning of the video. Below that is everything you need to display stuff on the screen. Serial port contains function for debugging through USB. Control contains flow control blocks, for example loops or branches. Then we have arithmetic and comparison operations, Boolean operations and mathematical functions. Variables can be defined here. If you want to connect a Groove module, you will find the required blocks here. It's also cool that the Wire can send data to a cloud if you want to do so. It can even use artificial intelligence to recognize motion patterns, gestures, speech, and even smells. In order to code, you only need to drag the blocks from the category to the scripts area. I start with the empty setup and loop template. This is what you might already know from the Arduino. Then I drag a text size block to the setup function and set the text size to big. Below, I put a print block and enter the desired text. To send it to the device, I finally click the upload button. When doing this for the first time, a pop-up comes up that instructs us to download and install the device assistant. This plugin is needed for the connection between the browser and the device. Alternatively, you can display the C++ source code and copy to the Arduino IDE and upload it from there. Here I make a small example program for testing the light sensor. And this is how it turns out. Basically, the wire terminal is a microcontroller, and some of its in and outputs are available through the pin header. And I want to mention that its pinout is the same as a Raspberry Pi, so we can even connect some head modules like the ReSpeaker too. I will now show how to write a small control application. I want a little joystick to control the brightness of an LED, so I go ahead and connect an LED to one of the port pins through a 150 ohm resistor. Then pin 39 goes to ground, and pin 37 alias D8 goes to the resistor and the LED. I already crafted a program that pulls the joystick and displays the status bar. But now I notice that there are no blocks to control the outputs, so the only thing we can do about it is to switch to the source code, select all and copy to the clipboard with Ctrl AC and paste it to a proper IDE. I personally prefer Visual Studio Code with Arduino extension. If you are already familiar with Arduino programming, the next step will be no big deal. X is the length of the indicator bar and can be between 0 and 255. If we put this into an analog write function, it directly controls how bright the LED glows. The wire terminal can show images which are stored on a microSD card. That's a good opportunity to test the display now. For having a resolution of only 320 by 240 pixels, it appears quite sharp, and the colors look bright and crisp. The viewing angle is good as long as you flip it vertically. But if flipped horizontally like so, it quickly fades out. But strangely the other direction looks better. By the way, if you like this video and find it somewhat useful, please take a second and hit the like button. Thank you. Okay, this was a very brief introduction on what the wire terminal is and what you can do with it. And there is so much more to find out about the wire terminal. Check out the Seeed Studio website for awesome projects and jump to the classroom for tutorials. To wrap it up, the wire terminal is a neat little gadget and a great starting point into the world of microcontrollers, the Internet of Things and machine learning. Programming is simple for beginners as well as for advanced, and for under 40 bucks it's quite inexpensive. That's it for now. I'm looking forward to showing you a project where it comes into play. Subscribe and enable notifications to not miss it. Thanks for watching, see you next time.